This is cancer. It could be a lump in your breast, a tumor growing in your ovaries, or a black hole of anxiety you fall into when you know you're high risk for cancer. It can be a dark place where you feel overwhelmed and all alone. It's the starting point of the cancer journey. But throughout the breast and ovarian cancer journey, Sharsheret is here for you. Sharsheret means chain in Hebrew, and we're a national organization linking women and families to hope on their cancer journey, connecting you to education, one-on-one genetic conversations and mental health counseling, peer support, and financial subsidies. Every cancer journey is different and unique, but Sharsheret is here for all the twists and turns, the ups and downs, getting you past the lumps, over the bumps, through the humps. We each are one link in the chain, but together we are stronger. Wherever you are in your journey, we have strength to share. Sharsheret.
Please welcome Donnie Gorlin, representing the National Board of Directors, who will lead us in a chapter of Tehillim, Psalms.
Good evening. Please stand as I recite a chapter of Tehillim, Psalms, for all the men and women of Sharsheret who need a speedy recovery and for the continued safety of our brothers and sisters in Israel and around the world. Shir lamalot esa inai el ha'arim me'ayin yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shamayim va'aretz. Al yiten lamut raglecha, al yanum shomrecha. Hino lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha al yad yaminecha. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yarech balayla. Adonai yishmorcha mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha. Adonai yishmor tzetcha uvo'echa, me'ata v'ad olam. A song for ascents. I shall raise my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help is from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to falter, your guardian will not slumber. Behold, the guardian of Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your guardian, the Lord is your shadow. He is by your right hand. By day, the sun will not smite you, nor will the moon at night. The Lord will guard you from all evil. He will guard your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. Thank you, and please be seated.
Please welcome to the stage Sharsheret Midwest Regional Director, Sharon Levine.
Welcome and thank you for joining us to support Sharsheret's core mission to improve lives and save lives in the face of cancer. Every day brings new challenges here in the U.S., in Israel, and around the world. And yet, cancer doesn't pause. Whether in times of war, as we currently find ourselves, or in moments of calm, a diagnosis brings fear, uncertainty, and isolation. Through it all, wherever you are, we are a hand to hold and a critical lifeline. I started as a volunteer for Sharsheret and loved it so much, I joined the professional staff shortly after our Midwest office opened. I was drawn to Sharsheret because it supports everyone at any point in their cancer journey, from pre-diagnosis through survivorship, all while considering each person's unique needs. What really struck me was how much care is extended, not just to patients, but to their families and caregivers too. We recently observed the 10th yahrzeit of our founder, Rochelle Shoretz, and now, as Midwest Regional Director, I'm proud to help carry forward her vision that no Jewish woman facing breast cancer or ovarian cancer should ever feel alone. I want each of you to know that I'm here for you and our entire team, including Becky Corin, Abby Goldsmith, Rebecca Garden, Megan Freeman, are here for you should you ever need us. Since 2019, our Midwest office has grown tremendously. We've expanded education programs and patient support to meet the needs of the Chicago and Midwest communities, including cities in Michigan, Kansas, Minnesota, and Ohio. Sadly, we're seeing more young women diagnosed than ever before, which makes this work and tonight's success more urgent than ever. Tonight, we're here to celebrate Sari Winnick, Dr. Carol Ellman, and Ariella Robinson. We have many to thank this evening. Our generous event sponsors, Sidley, the Robinson Financial Group, Mesero, and Midwest Center for Women's Healthcare. Thank you to the devoted event chairs, committee members, and dedicated Midwest staff for making tonight such a meaningful success. And to the many volunteers who have worked tirelessly to expand Sharsheret's impact here in the Chicagoland area, thank you. Thank you to our Jewel Circle members, those who commit to Sharsheret annually with gifts of $5,000 or more. You'll notice some of us wearing Sharsheret gold necklaces. These are exclusive gifts for Sharsheret jewels and a way for all of us to raise awareness as Sharsheret ambassadors. And to you, we are so grateful to each and every one of you for supporting thousands of women, men, and families facing breast cancer and ovarian cancer. Tonight's Woman of Valor awardee has been part of the Sharsheret Advisory Committee since the time Chicago office opened. From day one, she brought her business sense, strategic thinking, and generosity to help grow our reach and impact across the Midwest. I've had the privilege of working with her for the past 6 years, and her energy, dedication, and heart truly make a difference every day. She puts her whole self into everything she does, representing us at educational programs, donating to our Busy Box program, joining the Jewel Circle, and eventually turning to Sharsheret for support during her time of need. In the most selfless and courageous way, she's now sharing her personal story with all of us, paying it forward to raise awareness, educate others, and help save lives. It is my honor to present the Woman of Valor Award to Sari Winnick.
Thank you, Sharon. Positive attitude. That has long been my mantra. Throughout my career, I've mentored young mothers returning to work after maternity leave. I often share the same advice that carried me back to work after giving birth to my oldest nearly 25 years ago. If you try something unknown, you learn what you're capable of. If you don't try, you may never know. For years, I've made that mantra very literal. When I run, I wear an emergency ID tag on my watch band. Along with my birth year, blood type, and my husband's phone number, it simply says positive attitude. I had no idea how much I would need to take my own advice in late 2024. Earlier that year, I'd signed up to run the London Marathon the following April. London is known as one of the 6 world marathon majors, which are the largest, most iconic international marathons. London was going to be my 11th marathon and my 4th of the 6 majors. In case you can't tell, running is my happy place, my outlet, my community, my energy source. But in August, in a routine screening, I heard the words no one wants to hear. We see something suspicious. After biopsies, scans, and many appointments, I was diagnosed with early-stage triple-negative breast cancer. Like many women, I quickly learned I wasn't alone. 1 in 8 women will face breast cancer. Within my circle, help and advice were close by. I also reached out to Sharsheret, an organization I had supported for years, long before my diagnosis. I've served on the local advisory council since Sharsheret entered the Midwest, and through that, I've helped spread awareness, raise funds, and connect others to their resources. I ran the New York City Marathon in 2021, raising funds for Sharsheret, and through my company, Learning Resources, I have secured toys for Sharsheret's Busy Box so other moms can have the support they need when facing cancer. Now it was my turn to make that call. My first conversation with Abby, a Sharsheret social worker, felt like a warm hug. She listened. She met me where I was. She sent me things I didn't even know I would need, including questions to ask my doctors, a pillow for after surgery, and even a terrific cookbook, and continued to give me critical resources and information throughout my cancer journey. Abby continues to check in on me even now. Once I had a treatment plan, I made a decision. I was still going to run London. When I met doctors, many, many doctors, my final question was always, do you see any reason I can't run a marathon this April? I chose the care team that got me and said, of course you can. Positive attitude again. After a double mastectomy, my surgeon and I compromised on the recovery timeline so I could keep moving. During chemo, my oncologist encouraged me to run as much as I felt like I could, and this helped me handle side effects and maintain momentum. Training gave me structure, strength, and hope. The vision of the race became a beacon through the hardest days. On April 27th, 2025, 10 weeks after my final chemo infusion, I crossed the London Marathon finish line. There I was. Thank you. There I was across from Buckingham Palace with, as you can see, a huge smile plastered on my face. Grateful, healthy, and profoundly aware of how much the support I received carried me there. I knew I wasn't alone in that victory. The emotional and practical support from Sharsheret helped me cross multiple finish lines: treatment, recovery, and then the marathon. Tonight, I am thankful for my family, my friends, my running community, my doctors and nurses, my employer and colleagues, and finally for Sharsheret, whose care and compassion mean more than I can say. And I'm grateful to all of you for supporting this extraordinary organization and for honoring stories like mine. As a breast cancer survivor, the journey continues, but now as a thriver, I am healthy and strong and have run 2 more marathons since London, the most recent in Tokyo a few weeks ago. In addition to focusing on fitness, I have doubled down on my support for Sharsheret, finding additional ways to help others impacted by breast and ovarian cancer and connecting them to Sharsheret. Positive attitude. Sometimes it's a mantra, sometimes it's a lifeline, and sometimes it's that little difference that helps you do hard things and achieve big goals. Thank you.
Please welcome Midwest Advisory Committee member Teresa Robot.
For more than 20 years, I have known Carol Ellman as more than just an obstetrician gynecologist. I have known her who, as a woman, in spite of her own personal struggles, passionately joins in the fight for the lives of others. In the world of cancer, she is one who reaches out to those in need, providing not just medical expertise, but a sanctuary of compassion and healing. She has spent more than 3 decades ushering life into this world, and through her work with Sharsheret, fights to keep that life here. Her patients, many who are here tonight, see her not just as a physician, but as a friend and advocate. It is my honor to present Dr. Carol Ellman with the Maimonides Award.
Thank you, Teresa, and thank you, everybody. I'm truly honored to be the recipient of this year's Maimonides Award. It has been my honor and privilege to work as an OBGYN in the Chicago area for longer than I care to mention, although I believe Teresa just mentioned it. In the field of OB-GYN, you know that you've been practicing for a long time when the babies you delivered start having babies. This milestone has led me to realize how grateful I am to be part of such a momentous part of a woman's life. As I think we all know, seeing a baby cry for the first time is truly a miracle. While I will always cherish those moments, I've come to realize that what I love most about being an OBGYN is journeying through life with my patients. I've had the privilege of reliving the awkward teenage years, riding relationship roller coasters, surviving uncomfortable pregnancies, and experiencing the expected and unexpected paths of the stages of life. One of the most unexpected paths is to have to tell a patient that they've been diagnosed with cancer. When I first started practicing, I had to learn how to support a patient through the process of a physical finding, followed by an abnormal imaging test, a devastating diagnosis, and then a grueling treatment. As you can imagine, the impact of this on a patient and their family and friends is far-reaching. Recovery is also challenging as they must find their new normal within the framework of being a survivor. Each time one of my patients is diagnosed with breast or ovarian cancer, I turn to Sharsheret. Sharsheret offers support in understanding testing, diagnoses, and treatment. The staff provides physical help to patients and their families, as well as emotional support and connection. It provides caregivers with an understanding of their role, offers life-saving community education at all levels, and partners with healthcare providers. Being part of this growing organization has been overwhelmingly rewarding. Maimonides was a Sephardic Jewish rabbi in the Middle Ages who was renowned as a Torah scholar, philosopher, and physician. He studied the science of Aristotle and promoted advancement in science and philosophy. As medicine and science continue to make steady gains, I feel privileged to be part of that journey and to see the positive impact on women at all stages of life. The reality that Sharsheret was founded nearly 25 years ago and is now an international organization speaks to the quality of care it provides. Finally, and here's my Oscars moment, I want to thank my family and friends who have always tolerated my scrubs attire and allowed me to run out of social events to attend a birth. I am thankful for working with colleagues who always go the extra mile for our patients and for each other. I want to thank my patients who have waited very patiently in the waiting room while I was able to support other patients through the unexpected, and to everyone who's joined us here tonight. Please help spread the word about Sharsheret. At some point in each of our lives, we may need the help and support of such an outstanding organization. I want to close by encouraging everyone to attend to your own health, see your doctor, and get your screenings. As medicine continues to evolve, there has been a new emphasis on being proactive as opposed to being reactive. Empowering families to understand their own genetic risks and make decisions about their future has been one of the greatest recent advances in science. And now, please turn your attention to the screen for a closer look at how genetics and breast cancer can impact all of us, women and men alike. Thank you very much.
My father, may rest in peace, was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which then metastasized into breast cancer. And early 1980s, my dad had a mastectomy. I remember my father taking off his t-shirt for the first time, and it was like, wow, that's powerful. In the very early 1980s, men and breast cancer was just not a conversation that anyone was having.
When our friend suggested that Shai go to be tested, we really weren't understanding what the BRCA gene meant. Shai being very proactive, and he's always on top of his health, so he went and got tested.
From the time my kids were teenagers, I absolutely was always open with them about our family history because I want my kids to be proactive and protected.
When I found out that I was BRCA, I was engaged at that point. I obviously wanted to get married. I wanted to have my children. I did start going for early intervention at the age of 25. I did feel like I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I always said that once my children were old enough and they were going to be away in sleepaway camp, that was my time to take care of myself. And last summer, my youngest went to sleepaway camp for the first time. I went, set up all of my doctor's appointments, got my date of surgery, and I sent my kids on the bus. And a week later, I was in surgery for a prophylactic deep flap double mastectomy.
As a mom, I wish that I could just take this all away from them. I wished I could have done it for her instead of her. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes. I could just be there for her, support her. But I've always told my kids that knowledge is power. And being that you get a heads up and you know that you carry this, you can be proactive and you can get ahead of it and you can get your screenings.
The hardest part of this journey is that I can't control my children's future. And knowing that I could have passed it to them is the scariest part. Because I did everything that I needed to do for myself. But knowing that I could have done this to them is the hardest thing.
We feel fortunate to be a part of the Sharsheret family. We wanted to support them before we actually did need them. We felt very strongly that it was an important organization that many people would need.
I thank my parents because they encouraged me to reach out to Sharsheret.
I don't know where my family would have been this past year without Sharsheret. We as parents, we're supportive, we're loving, but we don't have the expertise, we don't have the background, we don't have the knowledge. And when you have an organization like Sharsheret that provides the emotional support, the connectivity with physicians.
I don't think I could have gone through what I went through without speaking to the women of Sharsheret. Just little things that you wouldn't even think that you needed, they thought of everything. And knowing that there is this organization out there that helps women, whether they're going through treatment or prophylactic surgery, it's a game changer.
The support that was provided to our daughter in a myriad of ways was just unbelievable. Words can't even suffice our gratitude, our karatato to what Sharsheret has provided us and our family, and will continue to provide other families in the future.
Please welcome Midwest Advisory Committee member Rachel Silverman.
I'm honored to introduce our guest of honor, who, like me, faced breast cancer as a young mom. As part of her inspiring story, she has transformed her journey into powerful, moving art. Tonight, she has created a painting for all of us to contribute to, a living symbol of how each of our actions and support connects to create strength and resilience. If you haven't seen her art exhibit in the entrance, don't miss it. Tonight's guest of honor has shared her story at many Sharsheret events, helping raise awareness and supporting others who may be at risk. She is passionate about encouraging women to live healthy lives and stay on top of their screenings, and she continually looks for ways to reach young women, including coordinating a special event for young moms in our community. Please join me in welcoming our guest of honor, Ariella Robinson.
I don't think it was a coincidence that I was in my art studio when I got the call that my biopsy tested positive for breast cancer. The colors, the mess, the wet brushes held me in that dark moment. You see, I've always viewed the world around me through the eyes of an artist. And especially now, a woman with breast cancer, being an artist lent me a power to use my art materials to make sense of the chaos around me. As a painter, when I sit down to start a painting, the first thing I do is I seek out the lights and the darks of the subject that I'm painting. I don't jump to create the correct shape of the eyes or the lines of a nose. I begin by locating the interplay of lights and darks, and then I mark them like a back and forth dance. Darks, lights, darks, lights. And then all of a sudden, like magic, the faces, features begin to emerge, and a beautiful form surfaces. I find myself returning to this wisdom constantly, especially over the last year and a half. On the day that I was diagnosed on July 16th, 2024, after my very first mammogram, I was thrown into a maddening sea, the currents throwing me upside down, stripping me of my ability to locate which direction was forward. And as each decision and each day turned into the next, I sought out my lights and my darks. The darks. 5 months of chemotherapy, 5 weeks of radiation, a double mastectomy surgery, and then an additional year of chemotherapy infusions. The hours of attaching my body to a machine, the agonizing space between a test and a result, throbs of body aches and tingly fingers and restlessness, that drastically radical halt in life's momentum when everyone else's rhythm remained unchanged. The desire to simply sit and play with my kids, but lacking the energy to do so. The way that they looked at me with worry in their eyes. The heavy, thick waves of anxiety nestling into my chest, the unknown. The endless fluid dripping from an infection and the inability to sleep on my back or my side, the absolute lethargy, and the missing out on so many things. The lights. The absolute wonder that is the body and the reverence that I've grown for its extraordinary endurance. My ability to slow down time and linger in the richness of presence with my family. The ease I now have of deciphering what simply doesn't matter and my refocus on what's real. The commitment and strength of the band of people that surround me, feeding me the most savory love. The beautiful understanding of myself that I have gained, what makes me me, my pure strength, my unrelenting power to choose fun and life over any challenging symptom. The intimate and personal connection I've established with God, growing in my ability to trust that all things are in His hands. The people that held me, Sharsheret, for providing me and women all over the world with a place to go when I was pushed into many dark corners. For setting me up with women to talk to, for helping keep calm in my house by tending to the needs of my kids. And for this incredibly opportunity tonight to turn my voice into that of a leader and my journey into an expression that teaches others about the realities of breast cancer, the importance of getting tested early, and the powers that can help us get through any situation that life throws our way. Since that dark day in July, my artist's eyes have adjusted to my new reality. I find contentment by attending to the lights and darks together with equal awareness and care, to honor my pain as readily as I celebrate my joy. And there are days that I step back and look at my canvas and only see a mess, but it is in those moments that I have found my faith. In Hebrew, the word for art, omanut, comes from the same root as the word for faith, emunah. By putting my absolute trust in the process, in myself, and in God, I have learned that through each of my lights and my darks, my beautiful expression has magically begun to take shape, and the simple act of living becomes the most meaningful and beautiful work of art yet. Thank you all for having me tonight.
Please welcome to the stage Sharsheret Chief Executive Officer, Ilana Silber.
Thank you, Ariella, for your inspiring words and your incredible art exhibit. If you had not had a chance to experience it, it's an experience, and I encourage you, if you've gone through it once, go through it again. It is really something worth doing many times and sharing back when you go home with your family. And thank you all for being here tonight. As we gather here together...
Hi, my name is Tina Sutter.
No, not yet. As we gather here tonight, many of our family and friends are in Israel and facing more war. These moments are hard for everyone, with spouses and children fighting on the front lines, schools closed, the fear of missiles, quick trips to bomb shelters. It's putting everyone on edge. Now, take a moment. Imagine you're also going through breast cancer and ovarian cancer treatment, life-saving treatment that can't be postponed, even during the war. I'm in awe and I'm proud of our Sharsheret team in Israel, who have not missed a beat during this incredibly challenging time. Now turn your attention to the screen to hear an account from one of our social workers on the ground.
Hi, my name is Dina Selter. I'm the support program coordinator at Sharsheret in Israel. It's been a challenging week and a half here between the sirens and kids at home, and we live in a neighborhood. We're about a mile away. There was a direct hit, and we're grateful that our family is safe and taking it day by day. It's been very unique working for Sharsheret at this time, where our callers are still going through their medical journeys. Now with this added layer and stress of sirens and shelters. And I was speaking with a woman the other day who was recovering, and she had a full house. So it's juggling a lot of different things, a lot of challenging things right now. And we're here for them continuously to offer support. The other day I was speaking with a woman who was going in for surgery, and so we made sure to get her a kit before she went in. And our callers have expressed how appreciative they are of us checking in and offering support during this challenging time. And we're hoping and praying for quieter days ahead.
So as Dina describes in that tape, our team in Israel continues to hold the hands of women and families all across the country, providing professional mental health counseling. And we know that right now there's a tremendous shortage of mental health counselors in Israel. They're providing those pre and post-surgery kits, delivering them to doors, and they're running virtual support groups. Right now, financial assistance is also, it's very critical. It's more critical than ever. Many women do not own cars, and public transportation is very limited. Schools and daycares are closed. Over 100,000 reservists have been called up, and now women are left to do treatment alone. Tonight, our goal is to raise $18,000 to provide emergency grants to these women in partnership with the Lemonade Fund. We're turning to local communities. We're turning to you, our Chicagoland community, for your support so we can directly provide these essential services to women and families in urgent need. So this is the ask, to please make a donation right now. I mean, we all have phones, so we would take them out and text CHAIN, it's on there, the letters CHAIN to 50155, followed by your gift amount and your name. If you'd like to remain anonymous, you can skip your name. But we're really looking to raise this $18,000 tonight, and I think we can do it. So I'm asking who's going to be brave enough to start us off tonight. And we'll have this on here, and it will get us going. I mean, I think the way Dina describes it, this is an opportunity for Sharsheret to give women funding, financial assistance that they haven't had before and they haven't had access to. So it's going to be hard for me to read the screen, so I'm just going to try to wing it a little bit. Well, we have someone, so thank you so much. Someone just donated $1,100. To give you a sense of the size of the grants we're looking at, we're looking to give women about 1,200 shekels to, specifically for the wartime grant, and there will be grants afterwards with your support. So we're not really moving the needle, but we're getting there a little bit, and really appreciate. I don't know if you know what a pre-surgery kit is, but there was a woman who was in Sheba Hospital just a couple of weeks ago at the beginning of the war, and she took out this bag of resources and materials. There were drain holders, there was a pillow for after surgery, there was a special sweatshirt, there was all different resources. And the nurse said to her, where did you get that kit? Where'd you get it in? She's like, I got it from Sharsheret. What is Sharsheret? She explained what Sharsheret does. She took our number down, and then she said, but how much does it cost? And she says, oh no, this doesn't cost anything, and it gets delivered to my front door. So she said, oh, this is incredible. So these are the kind of things that I don't want to sound cliche, but dodging bullets, but dodging missiles to bring these to women's doors. They can't run out to stores as freely as they could before, and these kits are making a difference. And with your support, we can also now pair that with financial assistance. Oh, I see we're moving up. I mean, maybe the voice of God can help me out a little bit with the announcements of where we are, because I think we're getting pretty close. And also, we'll be using the Chicago community. This is our first fundraiser of the season, so we will use Chicago as the leader for others to follow. And I think we made this. So
Ilana, voice of God here, we're above $19,000.
Okay. Look, I have nowhere to go. I'm staying here tonight. So if anyone, you can keep giving, and, we so appreciate it. And we will be reporting back to you. We will have information on how women are benefiting it, women and their families. It's a very generous community, and we're so appreciative of coming out tonight. And it's the little bit that we do tonight has turned into something even bigger. So thank you, everyone. But again, don't hesitate to continue. I'm here. You can approach me also. This number will be open. Just like the raffle, the money that comes from the raffles will also be using to help other women, men, and families. Really thank you to everyone. Your generosity will ripple through families here and in Israel. And really thank you for joining us. If you guys want me to get off the screen, I mean, we could probably get to 25,000. I think that's a nice round number. I mean, I think we should try. If someone wants to get us to 25, it's a special place in our hearts to make it a round number, just easier to report back, and makes a difference. Okay, thank you. Really, thank you to the honorees and everyone here tonight, and to the wonderful committee, and to all of you for coming out. I'd love to introduce Vanessa Ehrlich, who is many of you know and love, to close out the program, and also to give us an opportunity to take a deep breath and enjoy each other's company with something fun. And thank you really from the bottom of my heart. You made this easier for me, but certainly for the women, men, and families who are fighting for us in Israel. So thank you.